Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here. My name is Molly, I'm 20 years of age and from Dublin. I make videos on YouTube and Instagram, and today I decided to grab a hot chocolate. So I have mine here. So I'd recommend you guys grab a hot drink, and I'm going to be talking all about studying primary school teaching in Dublin. The CAO for the Leaving Certs is due pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I've gotten a good few messages about studying primary school teaching, what it's like. Basically, I've screenshotted a lot of my DMs. I've put up a question box on Instagram, and I'm going to answer all the questions you guys have sent in about what it's like to study primary school teaching in Dublin. Just a little bit about myself then. I'm 20, so I'm in my second year studying primary school teaching. I am studying teaching in Marino Institute of Education, which is in Dublin, and it's also affiliated with Trinity College Dublin. It's part of Trinity. I'm going into my third year, so I've just finished my second year. I've always wanted to be a teacher, a primary school teacher. I decided when I was like much younger, and I just kind of worked towards that all throughout secondary school, so I just kind of always knew. There is other things I'd like to do in the future, but for now I'm going to get my teaching degree and see where that takes me. That's pretty much it, and everything else will kind of be answered in the Q&A portion of this video. I just wanted to make this video real laid back for you guys to watch if you're unsure, if you're on the fence about studying teaching, or if you just want to know a bit more about what it's like. This video is kind of applicable to people studying teaching anywhere, and then I'm going to be answering some specific questions about Marino, or about why I chose Marino, all that sort of stuff. Without further ado, let's just get into the questions. I'm actually weak for a hot chocolate. Like, I don't drink tea or coffee. So like my cozy drink is a hot chocolate. It was a bit of an obsession there around Christmas. I've kind of relaxed a little bit about it. Okay, the first one is a DM I got from a lovely girl whose sister is currently doing her Leaving Cert, so best of luck, or is currently sorting out her CAO, so best of luck with it all. And she's thinking of doing primary teaching. So here are a few of the questions that she had for someone studying teaching in Marino, and I'm going to answer those first because I feel like they're a good opener, general questions. First question is, what do you think of it? What do I think of studying primary school teaching in Marino? I think it's a brilliant course. I love Marino. I love the people in Marino, I love the content of the course, and I love how it's a job when you finish your degree. Like, you're qualified in something, you don't just have a degree in something, you are a qualified primary school teacher, so you can go in tomorrow and teach. I just think that's amazing. I think teaching has lived up to if not exceeded, my expectations of studying teaching, even though I've been thinking about it for years. Absolutely love it. That's genuinely what I think about it. And come here, I've no interest in being false or anything, I'm not going to be giving any false comments in this. Like, this is genuinely just my opinions. Obviously everything I'm saying is completely my own opinion. So, is it tough? Is primary school teaching tough? As a course, I'll talk more about hours when someone asks that in a minute, but as a course, I wouldn't say it's the toughest course you can do. It's quite full on, as in it's a full-time course. I think it'd be tough if you didn't like kids and if you didn't like teaching, but because obviously everyone in it loves kids and loves teaching, it's a very vocational thing, I would say. In terms of assignments and lectures, it's not tough. I wouldn't say it's easy. Like, I wouldn't say it's like we play with Play-Doh all day, like, no. But I would say if it's something you love, you will never work a day in your life. You know the way they kind of say that. The next question is, what's the campus like? So Marino campus is quite small in comparison to other campuses. Marino's an institute of education, so it kind of caters for everything to do with education, not anything else. The campus is lovely. It's really old-fashioned. It's kind of gives me Hogwarts vibes. We have two buildings for lectures. So we've the Nagel Rice and Mary's building, I think. It's like two lectures, so you could have your lectures in that building or this building here. That building there has Costa, which is lovely, and the other building has like a canteen, Blossa, it has like a student room, it has the gym, a small like personal training room, and then it has like the gym where we do PE, and then it has one lecture hall. The campus is mainly like smaller classrooms. There's only one big lecture hall, the Airclan. We also have a library which is down the road, but everything is within like a few minute radius of each other. And then you have the on-campus accommodation. So the on-campus accommodation is literally your lecture will be here, the campus is here, the accommodation is here. So if you stay on campus, like you could literally get up at 9:30 and make your lecture or you could get up at 9:25 and make your lecture at 9:30. So that way. Next question, are there certain schools that are connected to the college for when you do your placement, or can you do it in any school? So I can only speak on behalf of my own experience. It might have changed for the first years that just came in, I don't know. For me, in first and second year, we got to choose our own placements. They weren't assigned. Now I think in third and fourth year they are assigned, but it's all to do with your local area, you know what I mean? They're not going to put you into Donegal if you're from Dublin. I just chose the primary school of the secondary school I went to, and then I chose the school I actually went to in second year, but I never got to do that placement because of Corona. In Marino you do, first year you do second to fourth classes, second year you study fifth and sixth class, senior classes, and then third year you do baby infants and senior infants and first class, and then fourth year is your thesis and a 10-week placement. Don't mind the noise, I'm sitting beside the chimney so it's blowing in there. Next question then is, do you have any regrets over not picking Pat's and Maynooth primary teaching? This is the key question, isn't it really, that everyone's here for? Absolutely not. Not 1 ounce of regret at all. At all. I just think I should share this piece of information for the video. It's not to do with me or anything, but I had the points for Pat's. There was nothing, it wasn't to do with points, my choice of Marino. Like I didn't have Pat's first and get Marino because it was my second. I just got Marino because it was my first choice. I wanted to do primary teaching all along, so I just always was like, oh right, I'll go to Pat's because Pat's is where you go. Went to the Pat's open day, was like, yeah, this is grand. And my mum was with me and she was like, will we just get a taxi up to Marino because they're really close by? And I was like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? I'm not really bothered. I had an image of Marino in my head and I was like, no, I don't want to go there. And then sure, I just said, we're nearby, I'll just go. So got the taxi up to Marino, and as soon as I stepped foot on the Marino campus, I was like, this is where I'm going. It was a good feeling. I just loved the vibe, loved the atmosphere, loved it. So came home that night, changed my CAO to Marino to number 1, didn't think twice about it. Could have gone very wrong also, do you know what I mean? It could have been a bad decision, but thank God it was the best decision I ever made. I'm so glad that I made that decision that day, and I have not one regret at all about choosing Marino over Pat's and Maynooth for me. The reason I chose Marino was because of the size of it. You're like a family with everyone in your year, you're really close. They have a higher standard of Irish, they put a lot of emphasis on Irish. It's affiliated with Trinity, so I have a big interest in travelling in the future to teach, and obviously Trinity is known for internationally, it's Trinity's best college in Dublin, so I wanted to have a Trinity degree. There's so many more reasons which I'll probably come to in a minute, but they were the main ones. I'm not here to put anyone off going to Pat's or Maynooth, like they're both brilliant, but it's just, for me, Marino was the best choice and I'm so glad I went with that. And just if anyone else is like me, then they might get something from this and change the CAO. Funnily enough, the next question was, what was your reasoning for choosing Marino over Pat's and Maynooth? As I've said, it was the gut feeling on the day, but now looking back on it retrospectively, it is the smaller campus size for me just suited me for meeting people. I love my Irish, the Trinity degree. I know Pat's, and the reason I was going to choose Pat's was because of the Erasmus option and the elective option that Marino don't have, and that was what Pat's was really pushing because they're the only two things that are different. The elective option in Marino, so in Pat's you choose for music, you choose PE, you choose to study these modules in detail. In Marino you do them all, so like we do music, we do PE, we do them all rather than just doing your elective. The Erasmus thing, yeah, Marino so far don't offer an Erasmus because the way our calendar works, all of our placements have to be held in the Republic of Ireland because of the Irish. So right now there isn't a semester where you can actually do an Erasmus abroad. but they're working on that. So I'd say in the next few years, by the time a lot of you people will be coming in, there will be an Erasmus option in Marino. I actually did a week-long tester Erasmus for the college. We went to Leeuwarden in the Netherlands. We spent a week teaching in Friesland, which was amazing. So it's all just trying to see how we can bring Erasmus into primary school teaching, because right now it won't work with the Irish. Okay, the next question says, what accommodation did you go for in first year? Was it expensive? I'm very lucky in that I live in Dublin. So how I get to college from my own house is a bus into town, and then from Bachelor's Walk, there's a 123 stops straight outside Marino. So it is 2 buses and it is a hike, but you're in college, everywhere is a hike. Like if you're gonna just pick something because it's on your doorstep, you're not doing the right course for the right reasons. I also stay with my nanny who lives in the city centre, so it's just easier to get in. I know on-campus accommodation is about £9,500 I think for the year. It is quite expensive. I know a lot of people, my friends from the country, do digs, so they stay in digs around the Marino area, which I think is a cheaper option. The campus is gorgeous though, if you're thinking of it. Okay, I love the next question. It says, what's it actually like studying primary school teaching? I feel like a lot of people have a perception because everyone went to primary school, so everyone's like, oh, I know everything you are learning. Like they kind of have that mindset, like, oh my god, I know everything that you're doing in your lectures. No. So basically how I describe it to people is we do every subject that the kids do in primary school at their level. So we do Moon and a Barla, Moon and a Gaeilge, like baby level songs, all that sort of stuff. We also do then every subject at our level. So like we do Gaeilge, which would be like grammar, post, higher than Leaving Cert level Irish. We do English literature, which will be like higher than English Leaving Cert level English. So we don't just do babies, we don't just stay at baby level like in our minds the whole time. And then we also do some really interesting modules. Like we don't just study the curriculum, we study like inclusive education. It's about how to make your classroom a more inclusive environment. We do the history of ed, we do psychology of ed, we do like intercultural education, we do curriculum and assessment. We do so many modules that you wouldn't even think of to make us into the best teachers that we're going to be, and to make our classrooms like, you know, not being taught by someone who's ignorant, like someone who, like Ireland is becoming such a diverse country now, and our kids that are in our classrooms are no longer, you know, one race, one nationality, one religion, so we have to like learn about that and accommodate for that. So I've learned so much about the world doing primary teaching. You don't know everything, like, at all. No. Okay, the next question is, can you study secondary teaching in Marino? No, you actually can't. So secondary teaching, the way that's done is you do your undergrad in the subject you want to teach. So for example, accountancy or history or art, and then you do your postgrad or your masters in teaching in the 2-year HDIP. So you learn to become a teacher then in your subject. So yeah, Marino don't do that. You can study though a lot of undergrads to get into primary school teaching. So for example, like early childhood education, ed studies, there's so many of them. There's a few little courses there that are for people who want to get into teaching or who want to do like adult education and things like that. The next question is, are you interested in doing a master's? Yes, I am. I'm very interested in doing a master's. I've kind of always known I wanted to do a master's since I was like young, and I would rather kind of get it done the year after I do my undergrad, hopefully. I'm hoping to do my master's then. I'm not too sure if it'll be then or when it'll be. I'm undecided. The master's I want to do changes like every week. So for a long time it was I wanted to do a master's in education and do it in like education leadership or something like that, and then get into like policy and education at like the Department of Education, or get into like curriculum, writing curriculums or things like that. I really wanted to get into that. Now I'm not so sure. I'm getting more and more interested in studying media. That was my second choice on my CAO, was to do communications at GCU, but I didn't go I got primary teaching, so I didn't go for that. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing something in kind of digital media presenting, really, to get into children's presenting would be the goal. But come here, the goal could change next week. Right now it's children's presenting, but in a few weeks it could be back to education, or it could be anything. I don't know. How was your first placement and placement in general? So placement is the most stressful time of the year for student teachers. It is a 2-week, in Marino it is a 3-week actually period where we go out and teach. We take over from the class teacher and teach lessons for 3 weeks, and we get 2 random inspections from an inspector and get graded on teaching and learning, so how you thought, planning and preparation, which is how you planned your lessons in your lesson plans. It is a stress, it is a whole stress. How was my first placement? I did my first placement last year with 4th class in the primary school of the secondary school I went to. I had the most amazing class teacher over me. I learned so much in that placement. I was so nervous at the start, and I went in and just fell in love with the class and fell in love with the class teacher and just had a brilliant placement. I just loved it. I didn't want to leave. The kids made me little cards leaving, little presents. I went back and went on their school tour with them. They were a great first class to have as a student teacher. They were just so lovely and they were so good. When the inspector came in, I learned so much on that placement. And looking back now, like, I was a horrific teacher back then. Like, I've learned so much since then even of being a teacher, but it was an amazing first experience. My second placement was in Crumlin Children's Hospital, and that was just eye-opening in the school, in the hospital, and it was just one of the most eye-opening experiences I've ever had in my life. And yeah, they're brilliant. Come here, when you're in first year, placement is the most daunting thing ever, but now we just dread the placement preparation. We love actual placement. Placement is brilliant. The next girl says, what does a day in the life look like when you're studying primary teaching? I've applied for Marino. I'm so nervous. Oh my god, best of luck, girl. I hope you get it. Hope to see you on campus next year. What does a day in the life of primary school teaching look like? Like, a day in the life in Marino would kind of look like, I get up, get 2 buses into college, get into college, have probably 2 lectures in the morning, then we have a little break. Our college all takes break at the same time, so it's kind of like secondary school in that it's not like it's not like big colleges where you have random gaps throughout the day to eat. We just have set lunches, so you'll have 2 classes in the morning, you'll have a little break, then you'll go to your next 4 classes, I think, could be doubles, and then you have maybe an hour off or 2 hours off usually to have like activities or to have lunch. And then on a really full day you might have like 2 classes in the evening. It's like a really heavy day. They would not be like that. Like, sometimes you have late starts, early finishes, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and then I just get the bus home. So like your day might be like, could be like English, literature, Gaelga, double SCSE, which is like science and stuff, SPHE, religion, and inclusive ed. Maybe like a random day. Is it a full-time / intense sort of course, long hours, etc.? I heard it was, and I was just wondering because I'd like to get a part-time job too. Thanks so much. Literally have everything crossed to get it. Oh my god, my fingers are crossed for you as well, girl. Is it a full-time course? Yes. It's kind of full on hours, so you'll have about 24 hours a week, but like everything is done in college. You don't have to go home and do lots of reading or lots of homework like other courses will. And then like also you might have, like in Marino, you have Fridays off, you might have early finishes, late starts. I in first year had a job in River Island. I was only doing 8 hours a week, but I had a part-time job. I was doing a lot of babysitting last year. I was working on, you can definitely have a part-time job doing teaching as a course. Like, you just get a Saturday job or a Sunday job or a Friday job if you're not working Fridays, or get a job in town working around the hours of your college schedule. And a lot of like retail part-time jobs are very accommodating of college hours, so you just give them your roster and they will be accommodating. So yeah, you'll definitely be able to get a job 100%, no questions asked. Everyone has jobs in college. The only way to pay for copper is on a Tuesday. Next question is, how do you find the actual work, like assignments? So the actual work is a mixture between, like, the main things I'd have would be written assignments, so like an essay, which will be about 1,500 words max. We never write more than 1,500 words in college, which is not a lot if you don't know. Like most college courses would be about 3,000 words. And then you do a lot of journals, so you might do a lot of like reflective journals, a lot of reflective thinking, so like thinking about the lesson you've taught and like writing about it and how you can do better. It's a lot of journal making, so like making a journal based on what you've learned, so visual journal, arts. So it's a lot about being organised, things like that. The assignments I find fine. Once you just are on top of your work, then you're fine. And what type of exams do you do? So we have, in Marino, we have summer and winter exams. So you have a week in Christmas, which will be written exams. They're fine. You might have 1 or 2 IP in maths this year, and it's just like a little written exam. They're fine. And then summer will be the same. A lot of them are assignments, and a lot of them are like placement. Then is a huge part. So exams aren't a big factor. How long does it take you to get to college? So it takes me about, on a good day, it'll take me about 40 to 45 minutes on the bus into town, and then maybe wait on the bus, the 123 for 15 minutes, and then get on the 123, and I'll be on that for about 25 minutes. So you do the math, I think it's like 2 hours. But like it's so worth it. You have to travel everywhere. If you went to UCD, DCU, Trinity, like you're traveling, do you know what I mean? It's just, unless then you save and get a car, and there's free parking in Marino if anyone has a car. What makes up a lesson plan? So a lesson plan is, every student teacher has to do a lesson plan for every single lesson they teach on placement. So it's basically just a written document of everything that the kids are going to do in that lesson. So you'll have just like all the information about the lesson here, then you'll have an introduction, development and a conclusion, and then you'll write your resources and all that sort of stuff on the lesson plan. And then as you get more experienced, you will start writing schemes, which is like a 4-week overview of your lesson plan. So you don't have to write a lesson plan every single lesson. You will just do a scheme for that subject, and that will make sense of what you're going to be teaching for, say, a month or whatever. How did you feel starting placement for the first time? Come here, like, I think I was a bag of nerves on prep week because you've so much to get organised and posters and resources, and like you're a bag of nerves when you know your inspector's on the way. Like if someone texts you, oh, he just came to me, he'll be on the way over to you or whatever. But overall I was excited to be like getting called Miss Nelson for the first time, and like, you know, getting like, kids don't know that you're a student teacher, they just think you're like, they don't know, do you know what I mean? So they'll just treat you like any other teacher. So it's brilliant, it's a great experience. There you have it, my first ever primary school teaching in Dublin Q&A. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it helped anyone who's struggling to make decisions on their CAO. For anyone who wants to do teaching, I 100% recommend it as a course. I cannot recommend Marino enough. It is the best decision I ever made, was going to Marino. So yeah, I'm just gonna back it. I'm gonna leave my Instagram linked below, so if you want to send me a DM, if you're confused about teaching or you have any more questions you want to ask me, just drop me a DM on Instagram and I will get back to you with any answers. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow my Instagram for more content and subscribe to my YouTube for more YouTube videos. And yeah, thanks for watching my little sit down Q&A. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.